Hello, Ragnarok fans! In this video, I'm going to discuss the dungeon mechanics of Ancient Pyramid Daily Instance, which you will unlock at level 48. In my opinion, there are two factors that you need to have in your team to complete this dungeon. Number one is that you need to follow these certain mechanics, but the second most important one is that you need to have a very hard DPS in your team. If you don't have any hard DPS in your team, then it would be very difficult to complete this dungeon. And if you don't have those two factors, then you will start failing this dungeon and you're going to trash talk one another and start blaming one another, and you don't like that. So stick with me because here are the mechanics. On the first part of the dungeon, you just need to damage Osiris until his HP reaches times 34. At this point, your party will need to wait for this Osiris to summon his minions. Okay, so once he summoned his minions, then you can resume attacking Osiris. After this summon, one of your team members should start positioning near this tower, who will fire the first black laser. And this black laser, if you don't block it, it will heal Osiris. And if you didn't notice yet, the summon disappeared. Voila! I think it's a bug, but yeah, why not? And at this point, you need to maximize your damage into Osiris. And while the laser is being fired, the tank should not move too much because the laser will always follow Osiris, and the blocker will need to readjust if that happens. So ideally, you need the tank to stand on his ground at this point. And once the laser disappears, the blocker can then move freely. And at this point, you need to pay attention to the next jump of the Osiris. So this is the preparation for the Osiris jump. And take note that every time the Osiris jumps, after he lands, a laser will pops up and fire into Osiris to heal him. Therefore, after the Osiris jump, one of your teams should already be positioned on the first corner to block the laser. And again, once the laser disappears, this is again one of your opportunity to do DPS hard on the Osiris. So after he jumps, he will usually follow it up with a summoning technique again. And after summoning technique, prepare again for his second jump. After the second jump, two lasers will fire into Osiris. So one should guard on the first post and the second one or will be here on the second post to start to block the laser. At this point, once the laser disappears, this is your last and final opportunity to hard DPS the Osiris. Otherwise, on his third jump, 3 lasers will shoot Osiris and you don't want that to happen because it will be hard for 3 players to block the black laser while damaging Osiris. And yeah, there you go guys. So if you fail to kill Osiris on the second jump, after the second jump, then it would be very difficult afterwards.